Hey, this is Yoana with the Prosperous Agency. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to talk to you about stages of home selling. So stay tuned. And welcome back. If you are a home seller, I would love to hear your opinion on this video. So feel free to comment, ask questions. As you know, in the Greater Triangle area, the market has changed and we do see a slowdown. Now, we're not seeing the slowdown everywhere in the Greater Triangle area. However, there are some price drops and we do see more days on the market. You are a home seller and you are considering selling, you might have a lot of questions such as, where do I go? There's absolutely no inventory. But the best question that you should ask yourself is it worth for me selling my house? How much money am I going to get from this? What am I going to do with the money? What is my next step? Am I going to downsize? Am I moving maybe to the beach? What is the end goal, right? You don't want to just sell your house for the money, my opinion, because you do not know where life is going to take you. So, leaving philosophy behind, if you have any questions, please comment below, subscribe to my channel, connect with me. I've been serving the Greater Triangle area for many years, for 10 years now, and I've sold hundreds of homes, and I would be more than happy to assist you as well with selling yours. The first thing that I want to touch, and I've touched on it just slightly previously, and the first step is financials. You do want to look at how much do you owe on your house carefully. We are interviewing a lot of home sellers on a daily basis, and it is so interesting to me to see that not all of them are clear on how much do they owe. They don't remember if they have a line of equity, if there's anything else that they might be owing, such as maybe some windows that they purchased 10 years ago that they're still paying for, or anything else, right? So you want to make sure that you know how much you owe, how much would you potentially need in order to get from this sale and put in another purchase if that's the case, or maybe you want to do a 1031 exchange. So the first thing is look at your finances, look at whether or not there's anything that you can purchase with the amount of money that you're going to get from your sale, and then decide whether or not you're going to do the next thing, which is interviewing a real estate agent. Now, you might know a lot of people that are selling real estate, and I think there are more real estate agents right now on the market than homes and that's a pretty correct thought and based on facts that I am sharing with you. So thinking that you know about 10 or at least 3 real estate agents, I want you to look at them as just an asset instead of looking at them as Uncle Bill or a friend of a friend. Of course, referrals are very important, but again, it comes down to the relationship, the professional relationship, and the capabilities that that agent has to actually market your house properly. So always make sure you interview at least a good 3 agents, and you look at things such as how long have they been in the business? How many homes have they sold in your particular area? What are their charges? And what is it that they actually do for the homeowner? I am noticing that a lot of sellers don't really ask questions that are pertaining to the listing agreement. They do not ask questions such as, you know, what's happening with my listing? Where is this house going to be promoted? Are you creating any ads for my house? Who's gonna take the pictures? Are you going to hire someone to come in the house and help me with staging? Are you going to hire someone to do the floor plan for us? Who's working on that floor plan? Small little things that a professional real estate agent or realtor should be more than happily answer to, right? No agent, in my opinion, should go and say, I'm going to take pictures with my phone here. And by the way, I'm holding my phone because I have notes for you, notes for this video that I just put in my phone. So no agents should be taking pictures of your house with the phone and just uploading them in the MLS, because ultimately you are paying for marketing, right? So when you interview 3 agents, you need to ask all these questions and you need to see their presentation of their listings in the MLS. You might not even care if it's an 18-year-old girl or man or whatever that's listing your home, as long as they're doing an amazing job with promoting the house. The other thing that I would like you to look at is then the process itself. So make sure you understand, once you've chosen your realtor, what are the next steps, right? So pictures, staging, looking at your finances with the realtor as well, and understanding how strong is that specific realtor with the after process of listing the home. Let's say the house is in the MLS already, everything has started. However, what is next? How many offers should you expect? If you don't receive offers, do you have a process? What's going to happen after 14 days in case you don't receive an offer? Where have you listed the home? Do you think that you should drop the price? You should maybe just accept the first offer coming in, or maybe wait. So have a very good understanding as a home seller of what is happening once you list the home, right? With the potential offers, and what if there's no offer, what happens with the price, all of these. So there are no surprises, and you won't have to communicate with the agent and ask such things such as, hey, we've had 15 showings but there's no offers. And yes, we are still in a seller's market, and you may say, you know what, the house is going to sell on its own, but it is not really like that. If you have noticed what's happening right now, Open Door in the area, they decided to not buy homes anymore. Zillow is not buying homes anymore. So there's a lot that is pointing to the fact that things are changing, and they are changing for a reason, and that nothing can be compared to a realtor that is actually local, that has the expertise, and then can tell you step by step what it is that you need to expect without the stress and the frustrations of not being able to communicate with someone, just having maybe a software or someone that just answers your questions online. So long story short, you also want to know how to communicate with that realtor, and that is going to be touched in item number 2, which is interviewing the realtor. But then again, once you are on the market already, what should you expect so you won't have any surprises, right? And then how does the agent negotiate, right? What is the agent's, you look at the history of the agent online, and you say, okay, I see that you have sold 10 homes in this neighborhood, and I see that this was listed at 700,000 and it was sold at 650. Why is that? Is that agent actually just telling you what you want to hear when it comes to list price, right? So you don't want to hire someone that's just going to go with whatever you say. It's just going to look presentable and say, yes, Mrs. and Mr. Home Seller, I'm just going to go with whatever you're telling me and asking me just to get the deal, because that is not what you want. You don't want to list your house at $1 million and then determine that actually the house had to be listed at 900,000, because that's going to hurt you online. So it's not going to do you a favor, right? So when you look at the after you list, at the process, you won't have surprises again, right? It's all about not being like, wait, what have I done here? It's all about making sure you understand the steps. So what should you expect once you are under contract? So we've already went through listing, hiring, we're already in the MLS, we already have a contract, we're under contract. You should be knowing that you are going to have a due diligence check that you need to deposit. Maybe potentially there's an earnest money check as well that's going to go to the listing agent's firm or into the attorney's trust account. What do you do with that check? You need to deposit the due diligence money, and remember, you keep that amount if the buyer decides to walk away. What next? You know, do you have to start packing? Absolutely. Do you know where you want to go? You might or you might not. Is your agent helping you find another home? You might want to rent back for 45 days or so. You might want to rent back for 60 days. What type of documents are needed, and all of these things, right? Also, repair negotiations. Of course, those are huge. Within the last 6 months, because every buyer was submitting the contract, the offer, I apologize, with the appraisal addendum and with the as-is addendum, a lot of the sellers were just breathing easy. However, I want you to know that regardless of the fact that in North Carolina, the contract comes in as-is condition and you do not have to do repairs, we like to negotiate with the buyers, and we want to make sure that the experience for both sellers and buyers is a pleasant one, right? So if you have termites, or if the buyers are going to discover that there's mold in the crawl space, or there's water intrusion, or the HVAC breaks, we would like to advise you as listing agents to make sure that you tell the buyers, first of all, up front, if you know of any issues, and you disclose them in the property disclosure, because you know anyone can come back and sue us as agents and sue you as well for misrepresentation or negligence. You never know. So you want to make sure that you are honest about everything that comes in place when negotiating repairs. If you don't know, you can absolutely check no representation. No, I do not know if there's anything wrong with my house. But if something comes up, you need to have an agent that understands negotiations and knows how to protect you and your rights when it comes to, yes, we're going to fix this. No, we're not going to fix this. We don't think this is worth it. Or here's maybe we're going to give you a home warranty, and all of these small little details that can definitely add to the amount of text messages, emails, and stress that you can feel as a home seller and the agent as well, right? So this is pretty much when it comes to contracts, negotiating repairs. You know, then what happens if your house doesn't appraise, which hopefully a good agent is not going to have that issue, and the good agent, like I said, is not going to go with the price that you have suggested, where you both have a common price and common number in mind, so you're not going to have issues with appraisal, and the buyer is not going to walk away. Because if they do, you're going to have to put the home back on the market and remarket it, and another buyer is going to swing by and say, hey, I want your house, but I see that there's another buyer that walked away. Why did they walk away? Is there a problem with the house? Anything material that we should know? Did the house appraise? There's a lot of talk in the back between the agents, and you need to know that an agent can listen to whatever you say, and our job and our duty is to have to protect you and your rights and to represent you, but our duty is not to lie, right, and not to misrepresent the home. So we want to make sure that we are protecting you and your rights, but in the same time, we are also protecting you in the future from potential lawsuits and protecting our licenses as well. So that being said, this is where we are with repairs, negotiations, with appraisal, and then we came at the end to the closing. Everybody's happy. We're giving the buyers the keys. Yay, congratulations. And hopefully everything went smoothly. Karma is working. Life should be beautiful. The transaction and the shaking of the hands should absolutely be a beautiful experience, not something that you drag. You have to make sure you're going to stop your utilities at the day of closing. And also, one very important thing, never forget that you have 14 days wiggle room. Both you as a home seller and the buyer, you both have wiggle room, as in you can delay the closing and the buyer can delay the closing as well. So if something happens, you never know, it's life, you have the right to do that. But at closing, normally you should stop your utilities, so everything from the day of closing should not be in your name anymore. and then you just sign your seller docs. If you are present, you can go to the attorney's office. If you are not local, the attorney is going to ship the package with all of the documents to you, and you are going to sign in front of a notary. They're going to notarize it, and you're going to overnight everything to the attorney. So that's about it. Congratulations, Mr. Seller. You just sold for 100 grand over asking. Everything went well, and you have done all of the steps. All of the stages of home selling have been done gracefully and profitably, and everybody's happy. Again, thank you for watching my YouTube channel and for subscribing. Do not forget to leave a comment. Positive, negative, I welcome all of them. Thank you again. Have a beautiful rest of your day.